Well, guys, today we'll talk about Kirby style allies. There's a new Kirby game coming out next year, but today we'll be revisiting Kirby style allies. And this game is kind of too easy. What do you mean by Kirby style allies is too easy? Well, number one, you can make friends in the game, which isn't really a bad thing, bad idea in the game. Which the whole game revolves around you making friends with your enemies, but the game isn't really that. It's too easy. This game, just to remind you, this game is worth $60. Okay, $60. Okay, and yeah, I don't really mind if a game is short or long, as long as the time is good. As long as the time you spend playing the game is good. But you can beat this game very quickly. It isn't a very long game. There's only 4 worlds, and it took me around 5 or 6 hours to beat all 5 worlds. Of course, it can 100% the game, but why is this game so easy? It's how easy the game gives you lives. I don't really like the whole live system. It's stupid, and I believe it should be gone. It's a system of the past, and it should go. But Kirby Style Allies deals with the live system in a different way. The game is just way too generous with lives. We compare it to games like Mario, where Mario gives you a couple of lives. And if you're good at the game, you get a lot of lives in the Mario games. But typically, it really depends on your skill. Kirby Style Allies, it gives you a couple lives in the first level. And considering how you can recruit enemies to make them do everything for you, and the fact that your health immediately heals on most levels after you beat the level, there's basically no challenge in this game, and that's the problem. I hope Kirby... What is the next Kirby game called? Kirby 2022 game. Next game, Kirby and the Forgotten Land is not this easy. I hope Kirby and the Forgotten Land at least has some challenge. At least has some difficulty. Because that's the problem of modern Kirby games. They're too easy. Modern Kirby games are too easy. I think an easy way to fix this is to stop giving, if there's a live system in the new Kirby game, don't give you too many lives and don't heal so quickly. Give players a challenge in the Kirby games. Okay? Kirby games don't have to be this easy. You can have difficulty in them. For example, compare this to the Amazing Mirror. The Amazing Mirror is far harder than Style Allies. Canvas Curse is far harder than Style Allies, because those games are not generous with giving you 100 lives. Those games have actual challenging bosses and enemies you have to overcome. Yes, Kirby, the Amazing Mirror also has 4 Kirbys, but also you have battery you have to deal with. You have to deal with the battery mechanic, which is already a pretty hard mechanic to deal with unless you're playing with friends. You have to wait to call your Kirby friends to help you. So it has to be an occasion when you call them, and you might call them by accident. So it's pretty hard if you're dealing with a boss by yourself and you're on low, phone energy, basically. Or you compare this to like the original Kirby Dream Man games. Though the reason why I didn't really like the Game Boy version of the DS version was just because the controls were pretty bad. But this Kirby Style Allies is just too easy. See, it's still a good game, however. It's just too easy. And the same problem can also apply with Sonic Forces, with the exception of the final boss, which I may or may not have failed the boss on purpose to hear that amazing boss music, but that game was too easy too. Okay, I think the next Kirby game should at least have a difficulty setting for newer players and for older players. People who know how to play a Kirby game should not have to be subjected to the same easy experience, essentially every single time. They should be given a challenge and newer Kirby players can be given the easy ride and get 100 lives in case they screw up, in case they lose all their lives. Lives. So yeah, overall, Kirby Style Allies, they really need to fix the difficulty in Kirby games. Okay? And it's not just Kirby Style Allies. It's Kirby Planet Robobot as well and games like that. Kirby Planet Robobot is too easy. It's a pretty easy game as well. And Kirby Style Allies is no different. Then Kirby Triple Deluxe and Kirby Planet Robobot. Whereas Kirby Triple Deluxe is still my least favorite of all the Kirby games. Which is not too surprising. It is one of the easier Kirby games out there. I know games don't have to be super hard to be good. I don't like Mega Man because Mega Man is too hard. But the fact that a game is just so pathetically easy shouldn't be like this. Games shouldn't be this pathetically easy. Okay? Kirby should not be made for babies. It's be made for everybody. And that's the fine difference between NES games, which are super hard compared to modern day games, or, there. But yeah, Kirby shouldn't be so easy that a hardware can beat it without any real difficulty. Which is probably possible given this game. But yep, Kirby Style Allies, despite ranting on its difficulty, still has a lot of positives. Number one, you can play multiplayer. If you play multiplayer, the game is probably much more fun. Number three, you get to see old faces and old villains team up with you to stop the new current threat that is trying to destroy Dreamland, which is pretty nice. And number four, it's still a fun game. So overall, I'll give this game a 7 out of 10. If the game was a bit more difficult and the game at least had a challenge, it would be up there with one of the great Kirby games. And it wasn't so short as well. But again, if the game length in this game really depends on how good or bad you are at the game. Which this game, Kirby Style Allies, is pretty easy. So you could probably beat this game within 5 hours. So if you want a shorter, quicker game to play on your Switch, Kirby Style Allies is a game for you. If you want a much more longer game, let's get like the Mario All-Stars Collection or something, because you'll be busy playing those 3 games for a while. Especially Mario Sunshine and its bullshit. Goodbye.